Hi, everyone. I'm Charlene Shirk, and welcome to Digital Champions, where we speak to some of the most innovative thinkers in the digital space. And joining me today is my co-host from Santa Cruz, California, Jared Breck. Jared, so good to see you again.
You too. Always lovely to see your smile, Charlene.
Aw, thank you so much. And from New York, Eli Marcus from the Motivation Show podcast. Eli, thank you for taking the time to be on Digital Champions today.
Thank you, Charlene. I'm ready to rock today.
All right, so tell us about this amazing podcast that you have that everybody is listening to.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this is a podcast that is kind of a dream come true because I was that young kid that always read every sort of self-development book. I was had my certain levels of dysfunction that I needed to improve on, and then finally I've got a chance to be able to talk to a lot of the greats whose books I actually read back in the 70s and 80s, and even some legends, from the 1960s like Frankie Avalon. So it's very exciting times for me.
Eli, what do you think people are lacking right now? What do you think people really need, and why are they coming to the podcast?
Great question. I think people are lacking often a direction really to kind of go in, because there's so much going on in people's minds. There's so much social media and so much keeping up with the Joneses, and people are confused, and people just have just this level of dissatisfaction and overwhelm. I think is probably the number one thing people are in, this state of overwhelm.
Got it. And what do you think is unique about your podcast? There's a lot of different podcasts out there. How do you guys do it differently? What's your secret sauce out there?
Well, my goal is really to find out what makes super successful people successful, and how did they get there? What do they advise other people to do? Of course, there are other great podcasts, but I'm just focused really on the positive and how to grow people, how to inspire people, how to get people to that next step. It's not just something to have gossip or to talk about politics, but we're here to really make a difference.
Eli, tell us a little bit about your background. You said you kind of walked your own path, and then you've come here, and now you're able to kind of pay it forward. Give us a little bit about your background.
Believe it or not, Charlene, I was the shyest kid in my entire school. I used to sit in the back of the class, and I used to actually get extremely red if I even thought the teacher was looking at me or going to call upon me. Suffice to say, I didn't like that feeling. I didn't like the fact that all the guys in the front of the class seemed to get all the girls. That definitely didn't resonate well with me. So I went and, lived in the bookstore and picked up every self-help book I possibly could to try to find a way out of this shyness. Was there a way out of the shyness? Did I have to be like this for the rest of my life? And I found out that sometimes we actually have this other side of us, that we can be something that we never thought that we could possibly be. And so a lot of the things that I do right now are the impossible things. How would a shy kid actually end up doing a top 1% podcast? How is that even possible? Why would he want to do that? Why wouldn't he want to just stay behind a computer? So my story is a story of possibility.
And how do you get these big names on your show?
It's called collaboration. That's the word I use all the time. Collaborate with as many people, do nice things for other people, think of other people. I was just on a call with a gentleman that 9 years ago, he was nice enough to come by and have his band actually sign a CD for me. And I never forgot that. So I keep doing like nice small things for him over the last 9 years, and he does nice things for me. And that's kind of how it works. You just keep putting kindness and goodness out there. Don't always have to have an immediate agenda. In fact, the things that you do without agenda are sometimes the greatest things that you could possibly do and build the greatest friendships. Just do something for the sake of goodness.
Eli, I was going to ask you, what do you think's going on in the future of podcasting? What's new? What's a new trend, or what's a thing you're looking forward to?
Well, I hope that more of the trend goes towards the things that I'm doing, where we're trying to put out positivity in the world, make changes that are good, whether it's helping people's nutrition, helping people to heal from cancers or heart disease, things that we don't really need and don't even exist in some other places in the world. Because I think that, our diets in this country are really horrendous. We don't think about the overconsumption of oil. We think about maybe sugar. We've heard about that, and salt. No one thinks about the fact that try to go out to a restaurant and avoid oil. And what is oil? How is that good for us? So anything that I think hopefully the trend in the future is going towards things that heal people, make people grow as a human being.
There's a
And
thing where
being a
people
transplant from the
say,
East Coast.
sorry, Jared. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was just going to say, being a transplant from the East Coast, do you bring a little New York flavor to your podcast? How do you do that?
Oh, absolutely. I'm a New Yorker, true and true. You can't take the New Yorker out of me. You can take me out of New York, but you can't take the New York out of me. And New York is a very, very fast-paced environment. I'm like this triple A personality, not a personality like triple A. I'm always moving fast, thinking fast. And in order to be that kind of person, you also have to have the fail-safe things. You've got to be able to add meditation and things that slow you down a little bit and put things into perspective, give you more clarity. So I like to go out and run. I like to meditate. These are things that I call my non-negotiables. Non-negotiables are things like air, water. You got to have those things. So every day I believe that people should build in 2 or 3 non-negotiables that you just have to do to make yourself a better person. I have to be healthy and I have to strive in order to help other people strive. So I can't be a mentor or a leader without myself living those things.
So, Eli, I want to ask you this. As we've got 1 minute left, and I wanted to get your thought. What is something that somebody should do when they get up every day, first thing? What's a mental thing? We all have the voices in our head, right? What should the voice in our head say to us every morning to put us on a path of having a motivated and productive day?
First 2 things I do is drink water because we just spent 8 hours sleeping and probably more. We didn't have water. You got to have water in the body. And the second thing I do is have gratitude. Gratitude that I got through the night. Gratitude that I have this incredible day, this canvas that I can paint any way I want. Gratitude for all the health and all the wonderful people in my world and all the challenges that I get to face in the future. So gratitude is number 1. And when you have gratitude, everything else starts to flow a lot easier. Rather than waking up grumpy and sleepy, you wake up and like, oh my God, I just can't wait for this day to get going.
I love that you have gratitude for the challenges that you will face that day. That is a great way to look at it, Eli. Thank you so much for making the time to share all of your wisdom with us today on Digital Champions.
Thanks, Charlene, and thanks, Jared.
And Jared, thank you
Great
for
to see
joining
you, Eli.
too today.
You too.
Likewise.
Take care.
All right. Thanks, guys. If you'd like to learn more about Eli Marcus and the Motivation Show podcast, you can start by checking him out on dailyadbrief.com. Well, I'm Charlene Chirk. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look forward to learning something new with you next time.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.